Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi there. Before I start the video, let me present myself to you first. So I'm Khairatunnisa. You can call me Khaira for short. My student ID number is 25011921. I'm from class NK1, English Literature from the Faculty of Language and Art, University of Padang. So I made this video for project with Miss Fitrawati on basic reading subject. So today I'm going to explain about types of sentence. There are three types of sentence. The first one is called simple or single sentence. The second is called compound sentence, and the third one called complex or related sentence. Let's start from the first one, single sentence. Like its name, single sentence is a sentence that only has one independent clause or one complete main idea. So that means it only has one verb and one subject. Single sentence can have an additional information like adverbs or adjectives, but single sentence cannot have another independent clause or more dependent clauses. You guys must be asking, what is independent clause? What is a dependent clause? So there are two types of clauses. The first one is independent. So independent clauses is a clause that can stand alone because they have subject and verb. So they probably a complete sentence. But dependent is the opposite of independent. They cannot stand alone because they are not complete. They are not a complete sentence. Even though they have a subject, they have verb, but still they cannot stand alone without independent clause. So that's it. For the example of single sentence, you can see it on my text. It's on the first sentence of the paragraph. It is hard to find a philosopher who writes well. So this is a single sentence because it only expresses one complete main idea. So that's why it's called single sentence. Now let's talk about the second one, compound sentence. A compound sentence is a sentence that consists of two or more independent clauses. Each clause can stand alone as a sentence, but they are connected because the ideas are related. The independent clauses can join in two ways. First, with coordinating conjunction like and, but, and others, like this. And the second one with a semicolon. So compound sentence express two or more complete main idea. It helps us to connect equal ideas, show contrast, choice, or even result. The example of compound sentence in my text, he was formerly called Euphrates or good speaker, but then he got upgraded. So the sentence is a compound sentence because it consists two independent clauses and they are combined by using coordinating conjunction. But, and the last one is complex sentence or related sentence. So a complex sentence is a sentence that has one independent clause, it's called main clause, and at least one dependent clause. The dependent clause cannot stand alone because it doesn't express a complete idea. These sentences are often used subordinating conjunction to link, such as until, when, while, and others. For more example, you can see here. Complex sentences are very useful when we want to explain some reasons, show time or condition, and add detailed information about the main idea or main clause. For the example of complex sentence, you can see on my text. I'm going to choose this sentence. For hundreds of years, the character sketch was understood as a standard method of practicing this form of philosophy until Hume challenged this assumption in 1748. The sentence is a complex sentence because it consists of one independent clause and one dependent clause, and they are combined by using subordinating conjunction until. Okay, so now you guys already know, right, about single, compound, and complex sentence, and of course you guys can tell the difference, right? Let's identify the text that have been chosen. The title is David Hume versus Literature by Katie Abderlandi, It's an online essay. It is hard to find a philosopher who writes well. This is a single sentence, like I said before. One can list the good stylists on one hand, Bernard Williams for the clear frankness of his prose, Stanley Cavell, whose writing self-reflectively folds in one itself like origami, Friedrich Nietzsche, whose dazzle and exclamation seduce many people into questionable ideas. This is a complex sentence or related sentence because it only has one independent clause and the other is dependent clause. The independent clause is one can list the good stylist on one hand, and the other is give information about the good stylist on one hand. Next sentence, David Hume is typically seen as part of this crowd. The 18th century Scottish philosopher wrote in many genres, not only essays, dissertation and treatises, but dialogues, impersonated monologues, and biographies. This is a single sentence because it only has one independent clause. Hume adored the literary celebrities of his day, like the essayist Joseph Addison, who founded the Spectator magazine, and the French moralist Jean de la Bruyere. This is a complex sentence because it only has one independent sentence, and the rest of sentence add detailed information about the literary celebrities of his day that he adored. He was also unfailingly committed to finding a way to bridge the divide between scholars and society, between a world that was learned and one that was conversible. However, it was Hume who helped to divide what we now call literature from what we now call philosophy. The both of sentences are related, so it's related, it's not a compound. He did so by posing a devastating challenge to the prestige of one literary tool that had long been considered a legitimate method in which to practice philosophy, the character sketch. This sentence is a single sentence because it consists of one independent clause. What is a character sketch? It is a short description of a person, a social type, which focuses on their habitual preferences and behaviors. This is a complex sentence. There's an subordinating conjunction which focuses on their habitual preferences and behaviors. Next, imagine describing a type of person, an intellectual, a mansplainer. It's probably a single sentence. You might start by saying that they are the kind of person who the intel is the kind of person who lives in their parents' basement, who knows the latest memes, and who politically probably leans far right, or at least libertarian. The intellectual is the kind of person who likes good coffee shops, reads highbrow magazines, and who politically finds themselves leaning liberal or far left. The mansplainer, to borrow the journalist Marin Cogan's memorable expression, is the kind of person who has a need to explain to you, with the overly simplistic, patient tone of an elementary school teacher, really obvious shit you already know. The sentence that I've been reading before, it's all related sentence or complex sentence. The third paragraph, the character sketch is a genre that is descriptive by nature, and that today reads as a little sociological, a little literary, and more than a little comic. While a part of our everyday discourse, this genre has a long history, stretching all the way back to ancient Greece. Over the course of this history, the character sketch became entangled with another discipline entirely, moral philosophy, the branch of philosophy concerned with virtues and vices, with thinking about social customs and mores, and altogether with trying to work out what it takes to become good. For hundreds of years, the character sketch was understood as a standard method of practicing this form of philosophy, until Hume challenged this assumption in 1748. The entire paragraph is full of complex sentences, and the only single sentence in this paragraph is the last one. With this, philosophy and literature started to split. The ancient Greek thinker who should be credited with establishing this curious form of writing is a little-known philosopher called Theophrastus, who sits within the canon of Greek philosophical stylists. This is still a complex sentence. His name, given to him late in life by his teacher Aristotle, means divine speaker. This is a single sentence because it only has one complete main idea. He was formerly called Ephrastus or good speaker, but then he got upgraded. This is a compound sentence. There are two independent clauses in that sentence, and they are linked. They are combined by coordinating conjunction, but, and it expressed two complete main idea. Theophrastus directed his rhetoric talents to a dizzying range of topics. He wrote treatises on Zeus, as well as works of metaphysics, logic, and politics. Both are single sentence. He is most renowned, however, for two things: inventing the science of botany and writing a very short book that come to be known as the Characters. This is a complex sentence. It only has one independent clause, and others is give additional information about the main clause. Next, the last paragraph. The Characters is a collection that sets out to define 30 theses. It does so by writing sketches of types who embody these qualities. They are single sentences. In the Characters, Theophrastus considers theses like bad timing, absent-mindedness, and idle chatter, and then shows them in action. The man with bad timing, for example, is someone who always chooses the wrong moment. He is the sort who goes up to someone who is busy and asks his advice, who sings love songs to his girlfriend when she has a fever, who, when a man has just returned from a long journey, invites him to go for a walk. All of them is a related sentence or complex sentence. The absent-minded man is similarly maladroit. It's a single sentence. He is the sort of person who, when he is in the audience at the theater, falls asleep and is left behind alone. And the last one is complex sentence. So there's one compound sentence in my text and 12 single sentence and 18 related sentence. Okay, I think that's all enough from me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this explanation will help to understand about types of sentence. I'm sorry if there was any mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.